So over these last 6 games, I am looking forward to Jeff Ulbrich getting more creative with his pressure paths. So if you don't know what a pressure path is, it's pretty simple. It's literally just how you want to get to the quarterback, okay? It could be a loop right here. You could have both of these guys stunt in, he's going to loop around. That's pretty much what a pressure path is. It's how you get into the quarterback. And as we know, the Falcons love to blitz a lot. They're second in the league in blitz rate, but they only blitz 50% of the time in the Saints game. And that shows that he's getting more comfortable just sending 4 and winning. And I want to use this play where James Pierce Jr. got a sack as an example of like how he's getting more comfortable and more creative. So let's break it down. So let's look at the anatomy of this play. We are in a 2-4 set, which means we're going to have 2 defensive linemen, and we're also going to have 4 linebackers, okay? Yes, Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr. are listed as outside linebackers. This is a base 3-4 defense. Now, I just want to say that if this was a pure defensive end, this would not work, okay? Because nobody's going to sit up here and say, oh, Myles Garrett could drop in coverage. No, they're not thinking that. But if you look at how this 2-4 set is deployed, you have Devon Diablo out on edge, okay? And if you watch my video about his free agency stuff, you know that he can play on the edge. He's done it in Las Vegas, okay? Kaden Elliss, he could play on the edge. He did that some in the latter half of last season, okay? And we know Jalen Walker can be off ball, but I prefer him going forward than playing backwards. That's just my opinion. And then we have James Pierce Jr. pretty much lined up between the guard and the tackle, okay? This is trying to get this guard right here isolated on James Pierce Jr., okay? All the good pass rushers can match up on any guy on this surface. So with the versatility of all these guys highlighted in pink, as the offense, you're probably like, who the hell is coming? Okay. And usually when you see these odd fronts, they're probably going to be dropping weak, which means they're going to drop out this weak side linebacker right here, and they're going to send him on the rush. Okay. But you don't know that because all 3 of these guys, they could blitz, and all 3 of these guys, they can stay in coverage because we've shown this on tape of these guys blitzing and staying in coverage. So from a pressure pass standpoint, what we're going to be doing is we're going to drop out the ends, okay, or the outside linebackers rather. We're going to have Rook take an outside rush. Brandon Douglas, who's lined up in the 0, he's played out on the edge and he's played all the way at 0. We have a truly special lineman right there, okay? He's going to take an outside rush as well. Then you're going to have Jalen Walker creep up and then loop into the A gap, okay? And then James Pierce Jr. is going to try to knife at this B gap, right? And once again, we have our ends dropping. So they're pretty much playing in that slant window because they're probably going to be thinking this is a blitz, but it's really just a simulated pressure, okay? Which means you're showing the illusion of blitz, but you're only bringing 4. Right now, when we get to the offensive standpoint, when you see this kind of look, you have to 5-0 it, okay? Which means everybody's gonna pretty much fan out and get the guy that is pretty much closest to them, all right? And that leaves the linebacker, Jalen Walker, on Devin Neal, the running back. And you guys know that Jalen Walker is very good going forward as a linebacker. That's why he's playing out on the edge. So this right here, by definition, is a mismatch, okay? And because they 5-0'd it, that means this guy right here, he has to acknowledge him for a second, which is going to give James Pierce Jr. a one-on-one just long enough for him to break through, okay? Because he can win one-on-ones against guards. And also, like I said before, this right here is just a mismatch with Jalen Walker and a running back. So when we play this through, I want y'all to look at James Pierce Jr. first, okay? Because that's who breaks free. So when we talk about Kaden Elliss and this threat out on the edge, you're going to see what I'm talking about. This guy, he gets out of there in this pass. Look at this. He takes like 2 or 3 quick steps. Okay, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he's already out there. And Kaden Elliss, he just bluffs it and he drops off. Okay, but that frees up James Pierce Jr. just long enough to get through this so that way he can efficiently split this double team. Okay, and look at that. He's already through, right? And also, look at this. Jalen Walker versus a running back. I'm taking Jalen Walker every time, okay? He happens to get tripped up here just a little bit because he's going to try to go and cut him, but, you know, he's probably going to win these more times than not. If we keep giving him this, I promise you he will get a sack right up the middle just by running over the running back, okay? And as we know, rush and coverage go hand in hand. So I want to tell y'all the routes that are coming into the screen. You're going to have the low mesh by this receiver, and then you're going to have the other receiver come on the high mesh, okay? And remember, since we are dropping both guys on the ends, this is pretty much passed off perfectly, okay? Because both of these guys have zone eyes on the quarterback and they're not committing to either shallow cross. And then also Jesse Bates, he's also looking for that other crossing route coming into the screen. So it's over with. Tyler Shough is holding this ball because nothing's going to get open over the middle because that's what they're trying to attack, okay? And once again, we get back to James Pierce Jr. He's splitting that double team. This guard cannot hold him in pass pro. And Tyler Shough, he has to get flushed out, okay? He tries to get out of the way and he ends up taking a sack. Like, if Jeff Ulbrich gets more comfortable moving these guys in different places, this defense is going to be hell to watch because we can still blitz, but we don't have to anymore because we're moving guys around. And even when we do move around, we can blitz. So I'm looking forward to that.